Collective, this is Tan from Artemis Oracle. I'm doing the weekend ahead reading, and I want to see what the general energy is for the weekend ahead or the next 72 hours. It can be whenever you happen to come across this video. Let's see what we get for the weekend. I hope your week has been going well and that you've been staying safe. When's the wrong deck? But I see running came out. Some of you can be runners, maybe doing some sort of race this weekend, like a marathon or half marathon, 5K, 10K type of race. If that's the case, good luck. What messages does the collective need to know about for the week ahead? Okay. We got trash, talents, I feel like this weekend you're going to get an opportunity to show your talent, but some of you may not take advantage of that opportunity. It's, for me, like what I'm getting is like some of you are putting your talents to waste, and you're going to get an opportunity to showcase your talent, but if you don't take advantage of that opportunity, it's going to be a waste of effort, a waste of opportunity. This Chew card keeps coming out. Deep thinking, remember, solve puzzles, code word. I don't know, like I just thought some of you may be into like tournaments. That came to mind, like those Jeopardy like tournaments. And I think if you are interested in that and an opportunity comes, I think you should take it because something may come out of it. That's just a random message. But trash, talent, Chew. I feel like this weekend, you're going to be reflecting on something. Something is really going to trigger something within you. It's going to trigger a thought or inspiration or something that's going to have you thinking about what you're doing with your life. And it makes sense because we have the full moon in Scorpio on Sunday. Technically, it's tomorrow and Sunday because it's going to be like a waxing gibbous moon. It is a waxing gibbous, but it's like at 99% illumination, and then it'll be 100% illumination on Sunday, Mother's Day. So I think some of you may be having to contemplate where your life is going, what you're doing with your life. Are you letting your talents go to waste? You know, what is it that is holding you back from showing yourself, revealing yourself, sharing your talents, sharing your gifts with other people? And it makes sense because I'm already preparing for that full moon reading, and it's asking for you to do a deep dive, to reflect in what ways you have allowed patterns, beliefs to really keep you stuck and stagnant. Something that will keep you stuck from showing yourself, letting yourself be seen and recognized, 333, or even shining your light, sharing your light with the world. I feel like if you're a parent, you may be having this type of conversation with your own child. Maybe, and I mentioned that because of Mother's Day. Mother's Day is on Sunday. So I mentioned that for a reason. Maybe some of you are reflecting on your parenting, how you've parented your child, and maybe there's some things that you wish you would have done differently, and that could have really helped them not let their life go to waste. I mean, to a certain extent, our children are responsible for their own lives. As parents, we tend to do the best we can. But at some point, your child may be having to reflect on this. Like maybe they'll be having this type of conversation with you this weekend. You know, maybe some of you are going to be meeting up with your children, and they're going to talk about how they want to change their life, or maybe they would admit, sorry, I can't even speak for some reason. I think they will admit that they're wasting time, and they're thinking about how they can really, allow themselves to be seen and recognized. And use their talents. Don't let them go to waste. How they can use their talents to allow them to reach some type of stability, whether it's financial, maybe improving their own self-esteem, that type of thing. You know, it's funny because I just saw this thing, this swirly thing, and it made me think of the DNA matrix. And it might be something that's like a generational thing, where if you didn't grow up in an environment or a home environment that really fostered your talents, that may have been how you parented your own children, or probably influenced how you parented your children. Because I know some people realize certain things about the way they were raised, and they make an effort to change their approach to parenting when they become parents. And that might be and it's so funny, 555, when I said change, I feel like some of you are maybe are reflecting on that, and even how you may have kept yourself hidden, how you haven't allowed yourself to really shine and show your talents, share your talents, be a light to the world. You may have felt like you had to keep yourself hidden. And I feel like this full moon is really going to have you reflect on that and think about in what ways you can shed those old belief systems that have kept you stuck and stagnant. Those belief systems that really didn't allow you to really bloom into the person that you were born to be. It's a transformation, it's evolution. You're going to be thinking about this weekend, because something to chew on. You're going to have something to chew on, right? I'm chewing on gum, but you're going to be reflecting, you're going to be thinking about in what ways you can change your circumstances and what transformations need to be made in your life so that you feel like the life you have, that you are living or will continue to live if we're blessed with another day and every day after that, how you can live your life to the fullest, where you can meet your full potential, where you can really make a difference within yourself, but also within your family. Because I don't know, I just saw the DNA matrix, Mother's Day is coming, you know, that's probably going to have you reflective if you're a parent or if you're becoming a parent. Yeah, newborn. Newborn. So some of you may be having a baby, and you're already thinking about how you want to change how you want to raise your child, what kind of life you want them to live. You may be reflecting on your own childhood and seeing what you wish was different, and then you may be considering how you can make that a reality for your child, how you can be the parent you wish you had. I don't think that's significant to this. No, definitely not. You know what? I would say that because in the past, this is you may have been raised in a household that wasn't really the most stable. It didn't feel safe. You didn't feel safe in your environment. You may have experienced some type of abuse, neglect. And if you're having a child, or you're considering having a child, one of the things you're taking into account is how you want to avoid your child being exposed to these types of things, at least within your home environment, how you raise them, how you want to stop generational curses. Because generational curses aren't like witchcraft. It's the bad habits that continue to pervade a family's lineage. You know, if you could go back, like in my family, we have teenage pregnancy, you know, so it may be something like that, you know. So it could be drug abuse, sexual abuse, and I know I'm not supposed to say that, so it may be SA, teen pregnancy, dropping out of high school, those different things that, like, if you go back in the generations, your family's lineage, or like at least your grandparents, your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, you know, if you look at your uncles, your aunts, you see if there's a pattern, and you're going to be looking at that, and then you may be reflecting like, wow, I want to stop that within my life. And if I have a child, and this is only if you're considering having a child, or if you are having a child. You literally are pregnant, or your partner's pregnant. You're thinking about how you can get rid of that energetic generational trash, how you can, you know, kind of wipe the slate clean with your new child, the new member of your family. 1010 when I said that, you know, born with. You want your child to be born in a safe, stable, nurturing environment that fosters them to be the best that they can be, fosters their talents, fosters their personalities, those natural born talents that they're given. You know, that may be something, and I don't know, like, that's just what I'm getting. This is hug, comfort, care, and closeness. Some of you may not have had an emotionally stable, loving environment, so that may be something that you also want to include or consider. Or maybe this is something that you need yourself. Maybe you need to be in relationships where you need some physical intimacy. And intimacy doesn't have to be, you know, it doesn't have to be actual, you know, it could just be being held, being loved, being seen, being valued, you know? So this is the energy I'm getting. This is the energy. Okay. All right. So I think that's something that you really need to think about for yourself. This reading may not resonate with everybody, but I feel like there is something valuable in here. There's a valuable message in here about how you, if you're not happy with certain parts of your life, habits that you have, thought patterns, behaviors, addictions, things that are getting in the way of you being the best that you can be. And I sound like the army or Hellman's commercial. I don't know, but I'm sorry. This is serious. But that just popped in my mind, probably because it's kind of feeling heavy, this reading. I feel like this is a time for you to really reflect and, you know, dig deep this weekend. At least start, you know, just because even just thinking about something and questioning it and analyzing it and really reflecting, you know, introspecting, it's gonna help you in some way. It's gonna bring some things to light that you probably never considered. It's gonna bring things to mind that you never thought was a contributing factor to some limitations that you have faced in your life. And if you are a parent, you want to have a child, or you are having a child, you want to know in what ways you can kind of end the cycle where all the negative energies, negative belief systems, morals, values that were somehow instilled in you won't be instilled in your future generation, your future children, you know? So I feel like that's the message of today's reading. That might be because I was doing research on the full moon in Scorpio. So I hope this reading resonates with you in some way and somehow. If it does, please like, share, and subscribe to Artemis Oracle. My name is Tan. I am your reader, and I'm wishing you a great week ahead. Bye.